What's up, guys? Hit that like button on the way up in here. I got about 40 minutes to do a live stream. Hit the like button on the way in. Decided to do a live stream this morning. Black Spring. I'm in my office, as you guys can see. You know what I'm saying? This is what my office look like. Oh, thank you for sharing, Black Spring. Appreciate you. Okay. Yep. Got the caulking guns back there, you know what I'm saying? Got my architect's scale ruler. You know, my letter opener. No, this is the drywall saw. My paperweight. You know, got all my pens and my little pencils and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know how I get down. Got the saws all back there. Reciprocating saw. You know, got my duplex receptacles. You know what I'm saying? That's what's in my office. Big ass LB. Now we give it up. Tools of the trade. Tools of the trade. Let me see what else we got up in here. I can show you guys. My P-Touch label. You know, the label panels and shit, you know. Let me see. Probably not the type of office supplies y'all used to. You know what I mean? Got this right here for safety. Lockout, tag out, you know what I'm saying? Lockout, tag out, make sure you're safe when you're working on those wires. Do not operate. When you see this, don't fuck with it. So, good morning, folks. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. This is Tyrus Bain. Welcome to the Definition of Anarchy, where today, on 4/20/2021, y'all know what 420 is, what it represents. On a Tuesday, I'm going to talk about, yes, being smarter about this Maxine Waters thing. And what do I mean by that? Well, you know, people are calling out her hypocrisy, right? The hypocrisy of the left in regards to how Donald Trump was treated, you know, and how he went through an impeachment and all that based on the things that he said on January 6th at the Capitol. And then, you know, what happened, the so-called insurrection, which wasn't an insurrection. Come on, man. Wasn't nobody trying to overthrow the government. That is the point of an insurrection. But anyway, let me tell y'all. He said some things, right? He said fight for this, fight for that. But he also said march peacefully and cheer on your politicians and things like that. Didn't really say anything to incite anything. He didn't incite nothing. Let's just be upfront and clear about that. Okay. But now, what do we have? Maxine Waters has some choice words in regards to the Derek Chauvin trial, which is, you know, closing arguments were yesterday, and now today I think they started deliberations, the jury. And she said anything other than a murder charge or a murder conviction would be unacceptable. Man, quit walking around outside my motherfucking shit. The missing was good. Black Spring with Autumn, how you doing? Lawrence Ridno was good. So she had some shit to say. She was like, if it's not murder, then, you know, they asked her, what do you want? What do you think the protesters should do? Be more confrontational, you know, this, that, and the third. She said some shit. Okay. That could be taken as incitement of violence or an incitement of a riot, depending on who you ask. Now, be confrontational. We're gonna look up the word confrontational first of all. Let's do that. We're gonna do it right, right? The only word I'm not gonna look up in the dictionary is anarchy because they got it wrong. All right, let's see. Uh, confrontational, tend to deal with situations in an aggressive or hostile, argumentative. That's one meaning. Because a lot of these words have multiple meanings. A face-to-face meeting, right? The clashing of forces or ideas. An idea is something of the mind. It's something that's spoken. It's not necessarily something that's physical. Uh, or it could be conflict, a violent confrontation between rival gangs. Hold on, my wife is hitting me up. Hold on. What's up, baby? What's up? What's up? Oh, I get to be on Friday, on Thursday. I had to pay a lot of bills, man. All right, baby. Okay, baby. All right, I got you. Bye. Wife hit me up about money. Shoot. Don't hit me up. You owe me money, woman. No, I'm kidding. So, damn it. Hold on. So, so I just went over what confrontation can mean. Face to face. Uh, synonyms: ball game, battle, combat, competition, contest, dogfight, duel, face off, grapple, match, rivalry, strife, sweepstakes, tug of war, all that shit. So she said be more confrontational. Okay. But even she didn't say, oh, we burn shit down, shoot at police officers, do this, that, and the third. Because apparently there was a drive-by shooting of some National Guardsmen in not Indian. What do they call that place? Whatever that city is called. Brooklyn, some shit, whatever the fuck. Um, we have to be this thing. We have to be careful about how we handle this, right? Because basically, what they did to Donald Trump was censor the shit out of him, right? They kicked him off multiple platforms, and they impeached him, right? For not even he didn't even say direct violent language, but neither did Maxine Waters. But what they're doing on the right is they're saying, see, look at the hypocrisy. If you're gonna go after Donald Trump for what he said, then you damn sure got to go after Maxine Waters because she said be confrontational, this, that, and the third. But is that really wise? Maybe that's what they want, right? Maybe they want the right to say, no, we should censor people and we should impeach them and we should punish them for saying certain words, to a crowd or something, so that they can use that to be like, look, you guys called for it on the left, you guys called for it on the right. You know what I'm saying? You guys, this is what you wanted. Both sides wanted this. So what essentially what they're doing is the right is calling for the same censorship they've been fighting against for the last 4 years, especially since Trump has been in office. And I don't think that's the wise thing to do. I think, look, I always thought the same thing. I thought the same thing when Donald Trump was in office and when he said what he said, and think the same thing now. Maxine Waters is but a person, right? When she speaks, magical uh, vibrations doesn't come out of her mouth to hypnotize people into doing what she wants. People still have their own free will, okay? So if they act on something she says and they take it to mean how they want it to mean, that's on them as an individual that is carrying out that act. So if people are like, well, Maxine Waters said be more confrontational, so what we're gonna go do is bust out windows, we're gonna burn shit down, we're gonna shoot at National Guardsmen, this, that, and the third. That was their choice, right? They could say, Maxine Waters wants us to be more confrontational. Maybe we should confront or get in the faces of, you know, these officials, these city officials, the police chief. You know what I'm saying? And address our grievances, not necessarily attack anybody or burn shit down. So it could be taken multiple ways when she said confrontation, right? So what these people decide to do with that is their own choice. Unless she gave a direct order, you know what I'm saying? Unless it can be proven that there was some type of conspiracy, involving her and others, where she gave specific instructions to go burn this building down, to go burn that building down. We had to be real careful about how we go after these people for saying certain things, because what we're doing is we're calling what we're essentially doing is we're calling for censorship. We're calling for uh, being punished for saying certain words that some people don't like. Even if they try to do the same thing to your side, it's better to take the higher road and say, you know what? Maxine Waters said we'll point out the hypocrisy. We'll say, look, we can very well take that to mean the same thing that Trump said, or what you guys said about Trump. We can say the same thing about Maxine Waters and leave it at that. Just point out the hypocrisy. But to go as far as to call for her to be, impeached and convicted, you know what I'm saying? Like that you're talking about a slippery slope right there. You're talking about a slippery slope, because if they do that, you're setting a precedent, right? If they succeed in impeaching her, well, let's say they succeed in convicting her, right? But like they didn't succeed in convicting Trump, so there's no precedent set yet. They impeached him for it, but they didn't convict him. They convict Maxine Waters for that shit, and she gets convicted. Now you set a precedent, right? You set a precedent in the eyes of the courts of in the court of law. So now it'll be much easier for you to be prosecuted and convicted for saying words that somebody doesn't like. So we have to take a step back and say, look, we're not going to fall for the bullshit, because this is all a dog and pony show. The left right paradigm, kabuki theater, is just that. It's kabuki theater. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a show. It's a show to manipulate us to get to do what they want us to do. You understand what I'm saying? This is the thing. We should be really talking about, how they're talking about defund the police, abolish the police, this, that, and the third. But at the same time, they're talking about more gun control. Oh, we want more gun control, but we don't want no police on the streets, right? Defund the police, more gun control. I mean, you're talking about a recipe for disaster. Because I tell you what, these politicians that are calling for this, they're going to be protected by their guardsmen. You know what I'm saying? By the Secret Service or whatever security detail protects Congress people and senators. They're still going to have those, and they're still going to be able to carry, right? Meanwhile, we won't have police on the streets, which y'all know how I feel about police anyway, right? I feel like we should be policing ourselves, doing community policing in a smart way, or maybe even using private security forces that are beholden to the people and not to politicians. They have to answer to us, and then there would have to be competition so that they would have to actually perform optimally to keep their jobs, to keep their position, to keep their contract. But that's a whole nother video. But why aren't we talking about that? Why aren't we saying, well, if we're going to abolish the police, then we need to work on empowering the people before we complete that, right? That's what we need to be talking about first, right? You know how they tell you, oh, before you quit your job, you should get another job first, right? Don't quit your job until you get a new job. You get the new job, and then you establish your starting date, and then you go to your old employer and you say, look, I'm giving you a 2 weeks notice. You don't quit your job before you get another job, right? You don't just abolish the police without empowering the people first and figuring something else out. You see what I'm saying? So we had to be real careful about these things, because I'm telling you guys, the TAPS Act, I feel like it's right around the corner. They just need some certain shit to happen that will make it easier for them to pass it. Let me see. Anarchy says, how are you doing today? I'm good. Yes, please hit that like button. None of these politicians matter much, but Maxine has some powerful words, and she did nothing wrong. That's what I'm saying. She didn't do anything wrong. Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong. They're trying to, and let's face it, Maxine Waters, nothing's going to happen to her, right? From this, nothing's going to happen to her. She's not going to get impeached. She's not going to get convicted. But the more they talk that shit about this level of censorship, or getting people prosecuted for saying certain shit, they're getting closer and closer to that, right? And they want the people on the right to agree just as much as the people on the left. So here comes Maxine Waters with the stupid shit with the shit she said. So, that's where I'm at with it. So I'm just saying we got to be a little bit more aware and intelligent about move in regards to what we, what type of shit we want the government to do. Because let's face it, the Republicans are calling for the government to deal with Maxine Waters. They called for the government, the left, they called for the government to deal with Donald Trump. And, you're just involving government more and more and more. Like, we don't need the government to be so involved in our lives. So the more we call for this type of shit, the more we protest, the more we call for people to be censored, the more we call for people to be impeached, this, that, and the third. It's like, if we really, this is what really should happen. If we're not satisfied with our representatives in this so-called republic, then we'll just get their ass out of there, right? Committing a crime or something like that. If we feel like, if this was truly representative democracy, right? Then when the representative is not representing us properly, get their ass out of there. No ceremony, no pop, no circumstance. No. Of course, there's special election and all that bullshit. But all the hoops we got to go through to get these people out of here. I mean, I don't understand how people like Maxine Waters and Barbara Boxer and Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, all these people continue to serve, right? Like, term after term after term, these people are still there, right? The establishment is not working for you. So the establishment should not be in place. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how it needs to happen all across the board. If the government isn't doing what it really should be doing, it shouldn't be a government, number one, right? It should be because the government is about control. So there should be no entity consisting of such few people. They say it works because this constitution has been in place for over 200 years, which is the longest any constitution in the world has been in place. But that doesn't mean that it's working properly. That just means that they shape and mold and they manipulate and bend the constitution to their will as they see fit, because they call it a living document. You know what I'm saying? They call it a living document, and that's how they're able to keep it in place. Am I buffering? Thunder God, what's good? Y'all let me know. Am I buffering? Am I coming through clear? Because I'm right here with you. Ain't got to edit your slang. I got it. I get you. Yo. I was buffering briefly. I'm in this metal can here. But just y'all get what I'm saying, right? The I mean, it just we need to just be like, look, thank you for your service or your lack thereof, government, but we don't need you. We don't need you. We need to come up with if people are so in desperate want of a structure or a system to dictate how they go about their daily life, we can come up with something that isn't so intrusive and controlling, right? And dangerous, getting us in foreign wars. And that's what we really need to be focusing on. Like, what's going on with Russia, right? What's going on with Putin pushing back about what's going on on the Ukraine border? Like, what's going on with China and Taiwan? Like, what are we doing about that? Like, I understand that, we don't want countries like China, planting their flag everywhere and trying to control everything. But, it's important to know what's going on with that. We're so focused on these trials and all this other stuff, which is okay. But, we should be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. Like, we also need to be talking about China, Russia, and all that other shit. That's really a very real potential danger to the United States. And if it escalates to the point where we're at war with Russia and China, I mean, we're going to need to pull together like never before. Like, all this division is going to have to go to the wayside. We're going to have to pull together. We're going to have to align ourselves with people that we wouldn't normally otherwise align ourselves with. And right now, I mean, and we also need to focus on the real problem with policing in this country. Like, if we have a problem with policing in this country, at the same time we're going to war with Russia or China or whoever else, I mean, wow, right? We're going to be warring with the police and warring with China and Russia at the same time. So we need to really deal with policing in this country in a smart, methodical, and strategic way, right? Not just one extreme or another. Oh, comply or die, or abolish the police. And no, we gotta go about it in a more intelligent manner, to where, you know, eh, like I said, you don't quit one job before you have another job, right? You don't just abolish the police without coming up with a system in place to deal with certain, because criminals are going to be criminals. They're always going to exist. They're always going to be around. And I'm not talking about counselors and unarmed counselors and all that other shit. Like, the whole thing with the police not needing to be armed all the time. Yes, it's true that during routine traffic stops, it's very rare that a police officer will be attacked. Extremely rare, rare. And I don't really necessarily have an issue with police having firearms, but not necessarily police, but some form of security forces or that are patrolling. They need to have a way to defend themselves, just like you and me, we have a right to keep and bear arms. You know, if we change the the culture of policing to where they answer to the people, they'll be less inclined to attack the citizen. You know, attack us regular people who aren't cops. If they were held accountable more readily than they are now, then they'll be less inclined to just pull out and shoot. I mean, I saw that Adam, what was his name? Adam, the, the last guy in the one before his, like, if you see the video, you can clearly see that the dude did not have the firearm in his hand, but he shot him anyway. His hands are up, right? His hands are up. Dude shot anyway. But if people, then that would be an issue, right? It wouldn't be so bad. Pins? I don't have enough pins. Oh, what's good? Chelsea doesn't exist is in the house. Welcome. Tamiko Anderson was good. Trying to be tired of bang TDOA. The Constitution is a living document because it's for people alive. If you are dead, it's of no value. It comes from the Ten Commandments in the Bible. I hear you. Oh, what's good? High Impact Flicks in the house. Anarchy. You don't have to, I don't have enough pins. Biden said you don't need that. I mean, he's gonna come take my pins. We're gonna do a pin buyback, right? Biden's gonna do a pin buyback, man. Oh man, so if we change the culture, I do agree that we don't need police. What we need is empowerment of the people. And if the people want to hire a private police force or a private security force for their community, that's up to them. But that force has to answer to the people, and they have to bid for the work, right? Just like private contractors, and they have to just go through it like that. Terrence Bain TDOA, do you ever watch Tommy Sotomayor? No, he's annoying. He's retarded. Like, he's just too, like, when people go out of their way to be trolly on their own platforms, it's just too much. How's my stream, guys? Am I coming through clear? So I mean, we just have to. We can't look. We can't call. This is what I think. We shouldn't call for anything to happen to Maxine Waters. If they riot after the freaking verdict, if the verdict doesn't go their way, then they riot after these are individuals who have chosen to do whatever they wanted to do as grown ass people. No one can tell me, like, somebody can tell me, yo, go hit that cop upside the head. If I go hit that cop upside the head because he told me to, well, then I made the decision on my own. Like, it's not like we sat there and planned it out. You know, like some random person says, go attack the police today, and I go attack the police because they said so. I chose to do it as a grown ass man. Like, that person is not responsible. He said that. You know what I'm saying? I know that's I know that's what they want, right? But she didn't even say that. She didn't say do any of that. So now you're taking it a step. You're taking one of the things away, right? I just don't think that we should. I don't think we should put too much energy in trying to have anything happen to Maxine Waters. This is where I'm coming from. You know, just like with Trump. She said I know she said it on multiple occasions. She said it back in 2018. She said some shit, get in their face and surround them and do this, that, and the third. But again, like, yes, point out the hypocrisy. Yes, let's do it. But we point out the hypocrisy so that people don't get punished for saying words. Not so that people do get punished for saying words. That's what you want. That's what I want. I got a few more minutes. Buffery. Right. 144p. I put it on I thought I put it on 1080. My bad, guys. I'm in this metal can here. So, and I kind of closed the door so that people ain't just walking by and staring at me while I'm talking to a device. You feel me? So, what do you guys think, man? You think something should happen to Maxine Waters if they start rioting after the verdict? I mean, they're pretty much already doing that. Do y'all think that something should happen? I don't. I think you know these people that made that decision, and if there's any planning behind it, is she probably does have something to do with it. But just like when George Floyd died in the first place, and they were placing bricks strategically in strategic spots, knowing that people were going to show up. That takes planning, right? Busting people into neighborhoods to riot and stuff like that. Let me explain something. Most of the people that are rioting are not even from the area that they're rioting in, and most of them are not black. Most of them are not black. That's just the way it is. This is the reality. And I saw there was a video where I think it was the Freedom Fighters or something in Indianapolis was going up to people like, "Hey, what are you doing? Don't do this." And like people from that neighborhood, why are you tearing up our neighborhood? Why are you burning things down in our neighborhood? Don't do that. Get out of here. So that's been happening. So I just want to see victims of people, not for saying words, right? Not for saying words. If someone threatened me, like somebody did, y'all know who threatened me, y'all, your boy, right? I'm not even gonna mention his name. He threatened me, but he didn't act out on that threat, and I'm not gonna call the police on him. You know what I'm saying? But if I see him, I'm gonna be a lot more cautious and quicker to react in a physical way than I would otherwise if he didn't threaten me. Like, so that's how you have to take it. If people make threats to you, verbal threats, like, it's not right. You just got to be ready to defend yourself. Anyway, yes, that's my email address, Dark Nebula. Old head Deuce was good. Was good. Lawrence Reno says video sucks, but the audio's fine. Yeah, it's all good, man. As long as y'all can hear me. Your email address is spelled, yep. Lots of people say it's really Antifa rioting. Well, that's mostly what it is. So, I mean, that's where I'm at. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta get back to, telling people what to do. So, I'll get at y'all a little later, maybe tomorrow, maybe on my way home from work. I wanted to get into a lot of stuff. Anarchy says, I actually unsubscribed to him. Finally, such a shame he became. Some people just go through shit and they do stupid shit. Joseph Francis Burton says, it is a bigger problem that Maxine Waters, media, and politicians assume guilt of and motive 5 seconds after a viral video. I agree. Until that changes, there's a lot of things that need to change. There's a lot of things that need to change, and that's for damn sure. But I'll get at y'all later. Thank you for stopping by the live stream. You guys didn't have to do it. But yeah, much love to you guys and peace out. All right. Oh, like, share, subscribe. And if you guys want, you can check out The Seeds of Dark Matter on Amazon. Go get you a copy. It's a good read. So yeah. And just share the video, like the video, whatever you want to do. All right. Peace.